In today's session of Divorce Court. When Mossie Kites married Zachary, she had no idea her marriage would turn into a family affair.
But of all the fish in the sea, you had to go to her sister. That's the lowest I think a person can go, is to go into the family. Before she married him, did you know that she was dating him?
Yes.
Sit down, you disgust me. You have a child by her sister now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I figured I'd go straight to the heart, but then I fell in love with her.
She was my best friend, Zach. Imagine how my daughter's gonna feel.
Your daughter's gonna be confused.
Today, it's a showdown between Mossie Kites and Zachary Kites in Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is a matter of Zachary Kites versus Mossie Kites. I understand the two of you have been together for over 6 years, but you've only managed to stay married for 2 years, and now you're rather upset.
Yes.
Why are you ready to leave so soon?
He has been having an affair with my sister while we were married.
An affair with your... He's married...
I never had an
They
affair
are
with her
now
sister.
living together and they have a baby.
So this is a case of the scorned wife and the sister takes
Okay,
the husband?
At first, we were never married.
Yes,
when
we
I had
were.
the affair.
Yes, we were.
No,
But
Your
what
Honor, we
about
never.
now? Are you married?
We are married now,
You're dealing with her
yes.
sister?
I am with her sister.
So what drove you away from your wife?
What drove me away from my wife was there was no trust there in the beginning.
I didn't trust him. I accused him every day because he had cheated on me prior. And
Cheated on you prior to the marriage?
Yeah.
So why did you think you could trust him once you married him?
I was an idiot.
Well, I wouldn't call you an idiot, but there must have been some reason you thought you could trust
My
him.
daughter, I have a daughter. She's 5 years old.
We do have a daughter together, and we have a very beautiful daughter, and what it was, we couldn't keep it together ourselves. Mossie couldn't stay away from her ex-husband, which was 10 years
He's
older
lying.
than she
It's
was.
a lie.
Why did you run to the arms of her sister?
Well,
It ain't the only family member he ran to.
So what is this, sharing in the family? I've heard of sharing.
no,
This is beyond
it's nothing
that.
like that.
It just wasn't mine.
I believe that her and her sister never really grew up together, never really had a relationship.
What does that have to
She
do
was
with
my
you?
best friend, Zach, and you know she was. She was my best friend.
Let me understand this clearly. You're crying on the telephone with your sister, telling her about your sorrow and pain you're feeling with your husband, and she gives you the big hug,
Yeah.
then goes home to have sex with him?
Yeah, you don't deserve this. You're much better than that. But she goes and sleeps with him the whole time.
Well, you know, sometimes people are telling you that because they want you to get rid of your own
Right.
husband so they can have him. So this was a clear case.
Well,
huh? She's telling you
Well,
you
I
didn't
thank
deserve
her
him
for
because
that.
she wanted him.
I thank her for that.
You thank her for that.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he left
What
his
kind of
daughter.
marriage vows
I'm very
is-
happy now. I'm very, very happy at home.
That's why he
And I can
sleeps
trust
around.
the person I'm with now. Before I went to her sister, there was 3 men before I went to her sister.
But of all the fish in the sea, you had to go to her sister.
I figured I'd go
It's
straight to the
easiest
heart.
one she can get a hold of.
You figured you'd go straight
I
to the
go straight
heart.
to the heart, but then I fell in love with her, yes.
What does that mean, go straight
doesn't
to the
love
heart?
her.
It hurt me that
He's
she
told me-
cheated on me so
Miss
much.
Kites, please.
Sorry.
It hurt me the day in and day out that I would go to work and come home to her and knowing that she had men in my home and was taking out
Liar.
night after night with men.
You're lying.
And then after I did realize that her family was telling me that she was doing it to me, I caught her.
But isn't her sister part of her family?
Yep.
Separate part of her
And
family.
she was the one
different-
telling him.
Different family.
Now, I can
They
understand.
have different mothers, same
I
father.
can understand your hurt and your pain that your wife is cheating on you,
Right.
and you're not perfect,
I didn't
and you're
cheat on
making
him.
a mistake
and
about
yes,
that.
I was a good wife.
No, not if you're running around with other men.
He's lying. He's lying. I never cheated on him. I took care of him. I supported him. He left and he came home to a house, a car, and everything.
The reason we were married is because I would love to bring my family, which was Brittany and Mossie, back into my home after
My home.
numerous times of her cheating on me. I brought her
Who's
back into
Brittany,
my
your
home.
daughter?
Brittany's
Yeah.
our daughter. She's 5 years old.
So you married
I've
after
taken
this,
care of
like,
for
after the
5
affair with her
years.
sister?
After the affair, she knew about the affair. She threatened me to take Brittany and her away from me if I didn't marry her and give her a ring on her finger to prove that I loved her more than Crystal. And I
Miss-
did it. It happened
Mrs.
within an hour.
Mrs. Kites,
Yes?
after you find out that a man is sleeping with your sister, you beg him to marry you?
No,
That's
ma'am.
not too
It
wise.
did not happen like that at all. I always
the date.
assumed he did. I always assumed he did because he had done it prior. So I accused him all the time. And
So
he
if you
denied
thought it,
and
then
denied.
why would you marry him and think it's going to be any differently? You
Oh,
aren't
you
being
know
too
he
wise
can promise
either.
the
She did it
world
for
and give nothing
revenge.
but a bucket of rocks.
She did it for revenge.
You saw that he may have been leaning towards your sister. You tried to take him from her.
Sister, I never even imagined him being with my sister because she was being my friend.
No, but he says after you found out.
Nope, I married him.
Wrong.
2 weeks after I married him, she called me mad and crying because he left her and he married me.
Well, the lack of communication, the two of you don't even know when it happened. Do you know the date of your marriage?
He's lying because he knows he's wrong.
So you found out after you had married?
She called me and told me.
Wrong. That's a lie.
That's wrong. It's a fact.
Well, the point is that it doesn't matter when she found out. It shouldn't have ever occurred. I mean, there's so many other women you could have gone to.
Really?
And that's really, I can't think, kind of low down. I can't think of a better word.
Imagine
to
my
go
daughter.
to the sister.
Imagine how my daughter's going to feel when she gets older knowing
Your daughter's going to be confused.
a sister and a cousin.
Confused.
Everything he's saying to you is a lie.
Everything he says is a lie.
Every
so now
bit
you
of it.
married a liar, too.
Yeah, I knew that.
So you're a liar and a cheat.
Yep.
And you expected him to be a husband.
I knew better. I was doing it for my daughter.
No, you were doing it for yourself. You thought that you had enough going on that he would stay there.
Oh, I knew. But I knew better.
Why do you think your daughter needs a liar and a cheater in her life? And somebody
There's
that's
nothing
going
I
to play
can do
around.
about it. There's nothing I can do about
That's
it.
right. Nothing you can do about it. If a person has made up his or her mind not to be faithful, to be an adulterous person, to hang out with other people, to disrespect the marriage vows, disrespect you as a woman, there's nothing you can do about it. But by the same token, he says and claiming that you were disrespecting him as a husband. And to get even, you went out and had affairs. That's not good either.
I have never had an affair on him, ever.
Well, I'll never know the truth of this.
And he does already. He knows in his heart.
Is this the sister that you're talking about?
Yep.
Oh, come forward. What's your name?
Crystal Miracle.
Crystal Miracle?
Uh-huh.
You're a miracle child?
For real.
Yes, she is.
That's why you're sleeping with
She's lying.
All right, Miss Kite.
She's lying.
Lying about what?
Everything she said's been a lie.
Everything is a lie?
I only knew her for like a year.
You knew me, Crystal.
This
You're
is
my
your
I knew that
sister.
she was my sister, but we have different mothers. We have the same father.
Okay, different mothers, different
Raised by
fathers. You're
different
still
families.
a sister, are you not?
Yes.
So are you trying to justify it now because you don't have the same biological parents?
No, but how am I supposed to be sleeping with her husband?
Because you were my
when
best
I wasn't
friend.
even around then. I didn't even know her then.
You're lying.
Wait a minute.
I didn't even-
Did you know her? Did she confide in you about the problems with her husband?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you know that she was dating him?
Yes.
And while
Not at the
before
time
she
that they
married
were
him?
Married at that
Yes,
time.
we were.
That's not the issue. Before she married him, did you know that she was dating him?
Yes.
Did you know that this woman over here was your sister?
Yes.
So then why are you standing here telling me
Well-
that she wasn't your sister?
When they were working and she made me quit her
Desperate
job and all that,
welfare.
I wasn't around
Well, I'm
then.
not talking about quitting the job. I'm talking about you and him and his affair when he's your sister's
Yes.
boyfriend.
She
then he becomes your
beat me.
sister's husband. Why couldn't you go find somebody else for yourself?
Easy.
It wasn't planned. It was just, you
Oh,
know,
it wasn't
we
planned.
all hung out together for a year, and it just
see,
kind of,
she just said that
they
she
had a
didn't
lot of
know.
problems, and
It wasn't planned. When you laid there, stood there, sat there, however
Laid
you
there.
had your relationship with him, you're going to tell me at that point in your head you didn't plan to do it?
When divorce court returns, the judge questions Zachary about being a good father.
You have a child by her sister now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. What are you trying to do? Show how manly you are and how well you can produce?
I do have beautiful children.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce Court is back in the case of Mossie Kites, who is divorcing her husband Zachary after she learned he fathered a child with her sister.
So why are you here today? To testify about what?
for Zach about how bad she treated him and why he needed to get out of the relationship anyways.
Oh, I don't want to hear about how bad she treated him and he needed to run to your arms. Sit down. You disgust me.
She told me right now
I think she's
that the
jealous
reason
of
she's
my life
with
now,
him.
and she'll do anything in her will to try to end my relationship with Crystal.
I don't
because
see no
I am
relationship
happy,
being good at
and
all.
she knows it.
The divorce is going
That's why
to
you're
end
sleeping with someone
your
else.
relationship, and you think
Correct.
that she's trying to break it up,
It
and that's
doesn't
why she's
stop
telling
here.
me the
It
lies?
doesn't stop here. She has my daughter, and she plays games with my daughter against me on my visiting,
Never.
on my
Never.
child support,
Never.
all that.
He
She
hasn't
does
seen
it
her in
now.
over a
She'll
month.
continue to do it.
A month.
Well, if you think it's because she's trying to break you and Miss Miracle up.
She is trying to keep us apart and using my daughter as a tool to do it.
Why would I want to be back with someone like you?
I'm not saying that.
But
you
why
want
would you?
to be
Are
back
you
in-
trying to keep your
don't
daughter
care.
from him? From him?
If I can, I'm gonna.
No, that's not the way you do that.
I want him. He
Your
loves
wait,
his daughter.
hold on a second.
And his daughter loves him very
You
much.
listen to me carefully. That's not the way you do it. You don't use your daughter to play.
I don't.
Just be quiet. Now, I don't play that. You don't use your daughter to play games with him and Miss Miracle, regardless of those two adults and what they're doing to mess up their lives. You don't use your daughter for that. It's bad enough that your daughter has to deal with the fact that she has an aunt who now may be her stepmother, and she has a father and mother who are breaking up. That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you really shouldn't put your daughter between you and her aunt and let her see all of that going on. She's too young to try to understand all of that.
You had one
You
by
have a
me
child
too.
by her sister now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So now my
Now,
daughter.
when did this take place?
A month,
I haven't divorced you yet.
A month
so
and 4 days ago, we had the child. It's a baby girl. Her name's Kyra.
So not only you're just in another relationship completely before you get out of one. And you're
Yep.
telling me that you're doing everything right?
I consider me being out of a relationship with Mossie long ago.
You get a
I'm just
divorce
starting
first
in life.
before you start messing around and having
Correct.
relationships and getting other women
He
pregnant.
filed for divorce before. He has, but he was broke, so he went and
So-
got his money back.
Now you and Miss Miracle have a child together. So that's now a cousin
And a sister.
and a sister.
Now I have to explain this to my daughter because he can't. He's sitting there in
So
front
if
of her.
you loved her sister, so why couldn't you divorce this wife real quickly before you had a baby by them? What's this all
Good
about?
question. It's a really good question.
What are you trying to do? Show how manly you are and how well you can produce? What's it
yeah,
all
with
about?
her and everybody
I
else.
do have beautiful children.
Beautiful on the outside, but guess what? You're messing up their heads.
Yep. From the day they
And
were
the beauty
born.
of children is, you know, not just on the outside. You're really messing those children up emotionally, and you haven't given it a thought. You're
Yes,
just
I
out there
give it a
having
thought.
fun and taking care of yourself.
He's cried to me. He's so sorry he did it. He's so confused. He doesn't want to be with her either. He just doesn't want to feel like he's a bad dad walking out on another daughter. He told me this himself.
That's a lie.
It's a fact.
That's a lie.
Well, I wish you know evil, but the fact is that
Thank you.
I don't see how
I have
the
a
two of
five-
you are going to be together much longer either under
Nope.
these circumstances. I just don't see a relationship. So you're ready to divorce her so you can marry
Yep.
the sister.
That's what the
Is that
word
right?
that they spread the
It could
word.
happen that way,
Now, let me
yes.
suggest something to you. If Miss Miracle had an adulterous affair with you, what makes you think she won't have it with another married man after she marries you? It's a character trait.
Okay, I understand exactly what you're saying. I know that Crystal's been with 2 men in her life. She's only loved 2 men. She's only been with 2 men. The
And you
first
Believe
know
man,
that.
anything.
I know this. Yes.
What can I do for you?
Before we separated, she wrote, or after we separated, she took a
Before.
stack of my
He was
checks
right the first
and wrote
time.
bad checks on my account.
He's
And they
lying.
have bounced.
Wrote bad checks on your
Yes.
account.
She wrote a check for $299.45 and a $20 insufficient funds fee.
You know why I wrote that?
Was the money in your account?
Yes, my account only. She
Were
stole
you
my
married?
checks. Were we married? Yes, we were.
What'd you write the checks for?
I wrote the checks because we were together. We were arguing because he went out and spent $400 on her a necklace, a heart-shaped pendant that she is now wearing. Okay, so I was mad about it. So to make up for it, he wanted me to go buy myself something. So I did.
So now you're saying that you went out and bought yourself something because he had bought her
She came to my house,
necklace.
dropped off my daughter on my visiting, stole my checks, went out and wrote bad checks
He's
on them. That's
lying.
what happened.
You were separated.
Yes, we were. So she came
And you
into my
say you were
home.
living together.
Yes.
I don't understand. What is marriage? I just have old-fashioned ideas about
That's why I'm
what
still.
marriage
That's
is
why
supposed
I'm
to
still
be.
married today. I always thought, you know, that that you stay married forever. You know, it's supposed to be a
Now,
lifetime
please,
commitment.
Mrs. Kites, don't tell me you always thought that.
Yes.
She would never have cheated.
This is your
I
second.
never cheated on you.
Wrong.
All right, you're blaming each other, and you're saying that I wouldn't have left if she wouldn't have been cheating on me. And she's saying I wouldn't have left and I would have been married forever if he wouldn't have cheated on my sister. Don't come in here trying to make a fool out of me and saying I thought marriage was forever. This is not your first marriage. You've been divorced before, so you knew marriage wasn't forever. That's
was
what
different.
I said. I'm talking. That's what it should be, but oftentimes it isn't. And you should have known at the beginning that this wasn't going to be different than the first one, because before you ever took the marriage vows that said, love, honor, cherish, and obey. I promise to do that. This man was having an affair with your sister. So you knew then.
I didn't know until after I married him.
Oh, yes, you did. Because he's having this relationship. You're having problems, you said, before you married. You were pregnant before you married. All of that said you were going about it wrong. And Mr. Kites, your excuse about she made me because of what she was doing, so I went to her sister, that's still immoral. I mean, that's the lowest I think a person can go, is to go into the family and to just keep having affairs throughout the family members. There are a lot of people out there. And if you needed some arms to cry on, somebody to console you when you were upset, then you could have found any number of people. That's just an excuse that you're giving. But what it was you didn't care. You didn't think about it.
You're right.
You didn't give it any thought morally. It didn't matter to you. All you were thinking about was, I want to feel good. I don't care how it impacts my children. I don't care what effect it has on other people's lives, as long as I feel good. All you said about her is that she makes you feel good. Marriage is not a joke. It shouldn't be anyway.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
Usually when you have those issues of credibility, you try to weigh one side over the other, but both of you are about equal.
And an update on the case of Beatrice Poe versus Darren Poe.
What good is having a man without having no money?
That's what they call gold diggers.
Well, I have to dig gold. I can't be no man without none.
Divorce Court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce Court is back and the verdict is in the case of Zachary Kites, who left his wife Mossie after he fell in love and fathered a child with her sister.
Now, he's saying that you're moving around and having a lot of different men. You denied it. And I don't know, just listen to me. I said you denied it. Does that acknowledge that you say it's a lie?
That's a lie.
Okay, deny means the same thing.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's true or not, but I know one thing, that you shouldn't do it with that child. You need to stabilize yourself.
I've been with my mother.
What did I say? Did I say you denied it? And I said, if it is true, that big word, if, I-F.
Okay.
If. You shouldn't do it. It's not good for her. Somebody has to offer this child some stability. One of you should be adult enough to do that.
I have.
Here's the court's order, because I really can't resolve this. And frankly, usually when you have those issues of credibility, you try to weigh one side over the other, but both of you are about equal in terms of truth. Mrs. Kites, I'm going to order you to reimburse him $155 as your share of the bounced check charges. And you pay the difference, Mr. Kites. That's the order of the court. Court's adjourned. I wish you well.
When Divorce Court returns, an update on the case of Beatrice Poe versus Darren Poe.
I didn't read anything in the marriage vows that says, and only if you have money, I promise to marry you.
Well,
and
it was
to love
rich man,
and to
poor
cherish
man,
you.
but I can't deal with no poor one.
Closed captioning for Divorce Court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in Divorce Court. Beatrice Poe admitted she only married Darren because she wanted a sugar daddy.
So you married him for his money?
What money I thought he had, because he ain't got none now.
Oh.
What good is having a man without having no money?
That's what they call gold diggers.
Well, I have to dig gold. I can't be no man without none.
I didn't read anything in the marriage vows that says, and only if you have money, I promise to marry you.
Well,
and
it
to
was
love
rich man,
and to
poor
cherish
man,
you.
but I can't deal with no poor one.
You really think you're all of that, huh?
I'm all that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor, I left because I knew she wasn't all that.
Darren wanted Beatrice to return the wedding ring he had given her, but the judge decided that Beatrice should keep the ring. Beatrice now says she has found another man who pays her bills. She says there will always be a place in her heart for Darren, but since he couldn't pay the bills, he couldn't be her husband. Darren is glad to be rid of Beatrice and feels sorry for any other man she sinks her claws into.
I feel that the judge had made a good decision. It was fair to equal parties, and I like the decision of the judge.
The relationship between my sister is over. She is dead in my eyes. She is gone.